TalkFCB and welcome back here to the channel, guys. It's time again to return to La Liga. It's Barcelona against Valladolid, live from the Camp Nou, in a game that right here, we need to make a statement. We said that against Slavia, we didn't do it then. The players have had a long time to think about that performance. Right here, right now, they're back in action on Tuesday evening. Let's get right into it. Kickoff will be coming to us, like I say, on the Tuesday night at the Camp Nou. It is a late one, I have to say, for the midweek. 9:15 p.m. local time is going to be the kickoff. And here, guys, right around the world, wherever you are, you can get involved in the game. And here are the predictions. And I'm very, very interested in these this week because, of course, against Slavia, I think we were all expecting a much more comfortable win than we did get. But you guys have not been put off by that. Once again, 60% of you opting here for a win by 3 goals. And I think we need that tomorrow. Elsewhere in La Liga, in this midweek round of games, Atletico Madrid will travel to Alaves in the earlier kickoff there on the Tuesday evening. Only 2 La Liga games on Tuesday. Atletico in action there, and ourselves later on in the night. And Real Madrid will be hosting the bottom side in La Liga, Leganes, at the Santiago Bernabeu. That'll take place there on the Wednesday. When we look here at the La Liga table, it's not Atletico that are top, it's not Real Madrid that are top, and it's not Barcelona that are top either. I have to give here a special shout out to Granada. What an incredible start of the season they've had right now after 10 matches played, top of the league. That is unbelievable. Not only just for Granada, but just for the fact here they were newly promoted at the start of the season. A newly promoted side coming into the league, and right now they are top. Absolutely unbelievable there. And also another shout out to Real Sociedad, who've had a really, really strong start of the season. They make up the top 3 with Barca right now in second place, 1 point off the summit, and of course, with a game in hand there. And before we do move on to discuss the type of Barcelona performance we'd like to see in this kind of game, let's just touch here on our opponents at the Camp Nou tomorrow night, because Valladolid are also here, just like Granada, just like Sociedad. They've also had a very solid start of the season. They right now sit in 8th place, currently on 14 points after 10 games, and they've been in very good form, not just this season, but recently they've been at their very best. They're unbeaten in the last 5 La Liga games, and they crowned that run with a really strong home win over Eibar this weekend. 2-0 they won, a clean sheet there, and a good attacking display. And they'll certainly arrive here at the Camp Nou. Of course, for any team coming here, it's a mammoth task. But at the same time, they will have confidence, they won't be easy, and as we often say, Barca will need to arrive. And that's the thing. Barcelona arriving here into this game, you don't really know. We've got no idea what kind of performance, what kind of team we're going to see out there tomorrow night. We could come out all guns blazing with a really strong display, but at the same time, we may not get going. We might sluggishly move our way through the game, and we could even drop points if we're not at our best. We don't know what we're going to see. The players, like I say at the start of the video there, they've had a long time to think about that performance against Slavia Prague, which was, to be honest, bordering on embarrassing the way we went about that game, and certainly they will need to bounce back here, and as always, we want a reaction. And I think we've got to see one. I think we've got to see here from these players a reaction here, especially at home. They should feel like they owe us something tomorrow. We need to see that ruthless nature in front of goal that we should have seen out in Prague against Slavia, because people from the outside seem to think, you know, Barcelona fans, they're obsessed here with perfection. They want perfect performances. They want here perfect results. But you know what? We don't want that. We don't demand that. All that we want, in all honesty, is to be entertained. That is all that any of us coming here watching Barcelona want to see. And especially this kind of game. Barca, Valladolid at the Camp Nou. You just want to go out there. You want to see some entertaining football. It's not too much to ask, is it? We want to see the players go out there. We want to see a few nice passing moves. We want to see a bit of free-flowing football. We want to see some energetic movement, a bit of urgency in our play. Is it really that much to ask for there? To ask that group of players, as expensive as they are, as much as they earn a week, is it that much there to go out and put on a bit of a show? I don't think it is personally, and that's all that we're asking for right now as Barcelona fans. We don't want miracles. We don't even expect perfection at this point. All we want is a bit of entertainment, and we just basically want this group of players to actually realise that true potential. There's so many good players out there. There's so much talent there. Just get the very best out of what we've got. And the biggest thing for me, it's about the coach giving them the freedom, giving them the platform to actually show that quality. That's the key part here. Give them that freedom, give them the foundations, the structure, the system in place to go out there and show us some quality. And I just want to talk you through something here with regard to the Barcelona team that we may or may not see in tomorrow night's game. But I want to talk here about that front three of Antoine Griezmann, Luis Suarez and Lionel Messi. Because, of course, like we've said on so many occasions, Griezmann stuck out on the left-hand side. I don't feel that in the big matches, when it really comes down to it, that front three there, as it is there, with Griezmann on the left, I don't feel that's going to release the true potential of all of those players. So what is the best route, really, to go down with these three attackers? If you play them together, what is the best way to play them? And I actually think, why don't we actually go in-game with something like this? Because as we know, we line up here with Griezmann left, Messi right, but as we know, Messi comes central and that will happen. Then you're sort of relying on Frenkie de Jong to go here, Semedo to really go high and take up that space. So Messi, we know, is going to come inside and play centrally. And what you'll get then is Messi here central, Suarez ahead of him, and you'll get a lot of link-up play between those two, and you can see Suarez making these kind of runs, and Messi will pick him out, and most often than not, Messi will be looking for Suarez only, and Griezmann will be out on the left, and to be honest, not being played in, not being brought into the game often enough. So I actually feel right now, why don't we go, especially with the game at the Camp Nou, against Valladolid, a team there we should dominate the game against, go with something like this. You've got Messi here central, play Suarez here as the right striker, Griezmann as the left striker. Play them there as a two, very, very narrow. Nice and narrow there. The problem then is, obviously, you've got issues there in the wider areas. So what I would do there is push the fullbacks up really, really high. Jordi Alba and Semedo, give them both the freedom, the license to attack. And then what you do is you play a nice high line, and Busquets there will effectively, if you play that high line, drop in there as part of a back three. Because of course, when you've got Arthur there, when you've got Frenkie de Jong in midfield, you don't always need Busquets there for assistance. Sometimes he can be better deployed there as a bit more of a defensive player alongside Longley and Piqué, and then give those fullbacks the real license to go forward, support in the wider areas with Busquets dropping back and these two here commanding midfield, which you know that they can do. What you then have is Messi central, but with Griezmann and Suarez available. That's the big point here. Griezmann can make runs, Suarez can make runs. Both of them we know are players who can see space, can exploit that, can be very, very good in and around the area. But Messi has the option there of either or, not just Suarez, not leaving Griezmann out. I feel there like getting them both central, and the only way to do that there is to play them and really use the width with the fullbacks. If you don't use the fullbacks, then suddenly teams will pack the middle. If you don't exploit the wider areas, they'll pack the middle. You need to use the fullbacks, but I think certainly Griezmann and Suarez together as strikers, then maybe you could make that work a bit better. But of course, guys, it should be noted that tomorrow Ousmane Dembele is suspended. It'll be the second and the final game of his 2-match suspension. He'll miss tomorrow's game against Valladolid. But Ansu Fati, I'd love to see him at some stage in tomorrow's game. We shouldn't forget about him. We shouldn't just take him out the equation now. Of course, Griezmann, Suarez, Messi, those are the players that are most likely going to start the game. But let's see Ansu Fati once again at the Camp Nou, where he's put in some really, really impressive displays. Let's see him again tomorrow at some stage. That'd be something I would certainly look out for. And I hope that Valverde once again will put some trust in him, put some faith in him, and believe that he can go out there again. He will excite us. He will entertain us. And for me, guys, going into tomorrow's game, it is a bit of a tough one. Like I say, right now you don't really know which Barcelona side is going to come out on top. You don't really know who's going to come out there and actually shine. I think certainly what you're going to look for tomorrow is, like I say, that ruthless nature in front of goal. If we do go ahead early, what's the attitude like? What's the intensity like? Are we going then for that second goal, then the third goal? And you've seen right throughout the weekend, you've seen Leicester City score against Southampton and then punish them, getting 9. You've seen Manchester City do the same thing. You see the teams here really taking it upon themselves to score more and more and more, to really put out that statement. That's what we have to see. That's the kind of urgency, that's the kind of hunger we've got to see from Barcelona. But tomorrow, against Valladolid, at home, will we see that? I'm going to go there with Barca 3, Valladolid 0. That's me there being positive, but let's wait and see what we see at the Camp Nou. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. What are you expecting from Barcelona tomorrow? And also, would you make any changes? Would you make any changes there to the starting lineup? What kind of team would you like to see? What kind of shape do you think could work in the game tomorrow? Please let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, tomorrow night, it will be a bit later. As we know, the game is a bit of a late one, but I'll be here for the Valladolid Barça match review. I'll see you then. But until next time, as always, Visca el Barça.